Surprise! I'm right on time this morning. And just barely alive. Actually, yes, I am on time this morning because I have to be. Uh, I've got a big day ahead of me. It's very chilly. It got down near freezing, and our house was very cold this morning. But I'm back from my walk, and I'm getting ready to uh, get myself get myself together. Now, I posted something on my Facebook page this morning. I pasted like five or six things because something exciting is coming up. Uh, if I stay if I stay healthy, coming up in March. Okay, now many of you or some of you may be aware that many years ago, 56, 57 years ago, uh, my brother and I went out to Joshua Tree National Monument. Okay, the and for the purpose of taking psychedelics, and actually we vowed not to come back until we were holy men. Okay, I'm not joking. And shortly after, it was quite an event, and I describe it somewhat in my Life of the Spirits. Uh, and then, if you're familiar with that story, you probably know that later on that day, back in Costa Mesa, California, I called up Constance on a payphone at a beer bar and proposed marriage. She's in Nebraska. Well, anyway, Joshua Tree, of course, holds a very mystical place in my personal mythology. Uh, I've gone out there, I think, once before with some OTO people to do a small little like midnight ritual by the giant rock. But it is an incredibly mystical place. Okay, probably one of North America's uh, most significant magical pieces of property. Oh, anyway, a very good friend of mine uh, organizes magical retreats all over the world. And she's organizing one in Joshua Tree in March 5, 6, and 7. I think that's the dates. And no, excuse me, March 5th, 6th, and 7th of this coming year. Uh, Not too far from now. Uh, and it's going to be like a 3 day and night Enochian magic. Um, it's billed as a master class. Well, it's debatable if I'm a master, uh, but it will be an experiential, uh, not only theoretical, but an experiential Enochian 3 day weekend event. And we're actually going to have the pleasure and the opportunity to do Enochian vision magic under the stars. And Joshua Tree, the nights can be awesomely magical in and of themselves. So I'm really looking forward to hosting that. So I put up some banners and some links to for you to get more information about how you would like to how you might be able to be part of that weekend. Again, March 5th, 6th, and 7th. Out in the desert, Joshua Tree. Uh, I'm going to try to prevail upon a friend uh, with a big enough car to hold my Enochian holy table and the accoutrements of a well-ordered Enochian temple set up, and drive us down. And so I'm looking for serious volunteers. I'm sure that it's a long way from Sacramento to Joshua Tree and back, but I can't get that shit on a plane. Okay, and it's close enough. It is close enough to make it or it could make it a fun little road trip to do it. So uh, if that interests you, give me a call too. Uh, this morning I wanted to uh, talk about uh, the the use of oracles in particular, and that can be any kind of oracle that you think you're uh, compatible with, tarot or Yi Ching or, or dice, dominoes, whatever. Okay. Uh, in any situation where you find yourself uh, uh, open to receiving divine inspiration on concerning a specific issue or subject, and that usually comes up when you go, okay, I'm going to do Yi Ching. Oh, Yi Ching. What is, oh, how am I going to, and what's the likelihood or what's changing in my life? And ask anybody that does this. Sometimes it really, really blows your mind and works. And sometimes it just, you go, what? And sometimes it gives you some kind of an inscrutable answer that your wishful thinking gets in the way. Oh, the Tower card crossed with death. Oh, I was hoping that was going to come up. Uh, and so there's a couple things that I've recommended in my little book on oracles, uh, the Book of Ordinary Oracles. So here, that one. I keep plugging this little book, and everyone thinks, oh, that's the little candy ass. No, no. If this is one of the books of mine that you don't have, uh, I'd be very surprised if you didn't enjoy it and work it until it falls apart. Okay. That being said, there are a couple things that I've suggested, a couple mindsets that I've suggested that you avail yourself of to better put you in touch with getting a legitimate, inspired answer to your divinatory questions. And one of them, and perhaps the most important one, is that you resolve at the outset that the oracle that you're about to consult is a superior intelligence. I mean, is objectively real life, real spiritual dimension, a superior intelligence, and that your oracular operation is a phone call to that superior intelligence. If you have any doubts about if it's a superior intelligence, how do you think that would make the superior intelligence feel? Hi, I've made an appointment with the superior intelligence, you know. I don't believe you. I don't believe in you. Well, you made an appointment, you know. Or if you don't like what it says and you ignore it, how do you think that would make the superior intelligence feel? Like you knock on its door and you ask your question, it gives you an answer, and you slam the door and say, "You're not the." How do you think that would make the superior intelligence feel? Not only that, but if you plan on using that oracle over and over again throughout your life and magical career, is it going to keep coming to the door if you keep slamming the door in its face? Anyway, I think I actually tell that story here. Uh, Here's what I said. I call it this is secret number 4 in the secrets of fortune telling. Uh, the oracle is a superior intelligence. When you consult an oracle, are you really making contact with some superior intelligence who actually cares about your health, your love life, your lawsuits, or your publishers? Actually, yes. You really are making contact with a superior intelligence. Although supernatural may not be the best word for it, nature is yet unexplained may be a better way to put it. Now, I've read this to you before in other contexts. I could get all psychological or Jungian about this and point out that when you successfully consult an oracle, you really are tapping into higher levels of consciousness that someday we'll be able to measure with a machine and weigh on a scale. And that it's the nadir of superstition to personify and to objectify your oracular deity as our prehistoric ancestors did. To this objection, I say, so what? If it works, go with it. You tap into all sorts of primal and extremely powerful cosmic and personal juju when you, even if for a few moments, play along with the scenario that, with fear and trembling, I approach your throne, O oracular deity. Go ahead. It's fun, okay? Treat the oracle as a superior intelligence because it is a superior intelligence. It doesn't matter if it lives in your brain or your soul or your liver or your pineal gland or Brahmaloka or Valhalla or heaven or hell or Graceland. That said, it's fair to ask, who is this superior intelligence? Does it have a name? Is it God? If so, what God? I can't answer those questions. At least I can't answer those questions for you. I can get on my soapbox and shout my belief that each one of us is ultimately the oracular superior intelligence, or if you prefer, the microcosmic reflection of the one big superior intelligence. But because you and I are different units of that inscrutable whole, we each have our own unique vocabulary of images and spiritual ideals that push the buttons of our potential oracular talents. I may prefer to imagine that I'm melding with the mind of Lao Tzu when I consult the I Ching. You, on the other hand, may resonate to the image of a Chinese dragon or Buddha or R2-D2. I've talked to one very talented tarot reader who happily considers himself an atheist and attunes himself to the residual mental energy fields of Albert Einstein. As a matter of fact, that's a pretty damn cool idea. Okay. In any event, you're going to have to use some technique to get out of your own way and trick your stupid self into listening to your wise and all-knowing self. If you don't already have one, consider adopting a deity or some other spiritual being to personify your own personal oracular intelligence. Some colorful and omniscient character you can invoke to manipulate the divinatory process and guide your interpretation of the answer. It's a very common tarot practice for tarot card and palm readers in the United States and Latin America to pray to Jesus or the Virgin Mary or one of the saints before proceeding. And the adepts of the Golden Dawn, many of you are familiar with this, invoke the Gnostic deity Iao, spelled I-A-O, to send Hru, H-R-U, the great angel they believed was especially sacred to the hermetic forces inherent in the cards. And the invocation went like this. You hold the deck in your hand and pick up your wand and go, I invoke the Iao, that thou wilt send Hru, the great angel that is set over the operations of the secret wisdom, to lay his hands invisibly upon these consecrated cards of art, that thereby we may obtain true knowledge of hidden things, to the glory of thine ineffable name. Amen. Whatever your feelings about the existence or non-existence of gods, goddesses, or spiritual entities, I'll wager you find the business of consulting an oracle more effective and accurate if you first prime the pump of your psychic potential by turning the proceedings over to a higher power. Even if you believe it with your cold intellect that that higher power is ultimately you. After all, it's not your cold intellect that's doing the work or receiving the answer when you consult an oracle. So feel free to pick any character with whom you can personally form a devotional relationship. I personally love Mark Twain. And I've got a whole chapter with the Mark Twain oracle. I'm going to show it to you in a second. But as deities go, I love the Hindu elephant god Ganesha, and I've talked to you about that a lot when I want to talk to God face to face. The face that I like to look at is the elephant-headed face of Ganesha. Use whomever or whatever you want, as long as it's an icon of your ideal of the higher intelligence of the universe. Invoking this superior intelligence is the first step toward getting out of your own way. Once you are comfortable with your relationship with the image and person of your superior intelligence, it'll be easier for you to work with the fortune teller's fifth great secret, and that is the oracle is always right. Okay, this morning I thought I would at least show you the Mark Twain oracle. What I do is use two dice, one red one and one green one. And then I lay out a grid of these Mark Twain answers that I've clipped from, there's 80 of them that I've clipped from Tom Sawyer. And I lay 36 of them out in a grid 6 by 6. And so the cards that are remaining, I'll draw from if I need to ask 2 or 3 times, have follow-up questions, And then I'll roll the dice, and the green line, or the green dice, will give the number for the line, and the red dice for the column. That's it. Mark Twain, da da da. Well, I didn't want to do that particularly today, so I just thought I'd take the date today. Okay, 11, 27, and 24. Okay, and my general question is uh, just general advice for me today. So the 11th card in my 80 card answer says, shucks, witches ain't got no power in the daytime. That's that's probably Huckleberry Finn talking to Tom Sawyer. Shucks, witches ain't got no power in the daytime. Now, in a life like mine, that can have all sorts of implications, but that's the first of a three-part answer for November 11th. Shucks, witches ain't got no power in the daytime. The next one is 27 for today's date. I hate them ornery sermons. Talking about the snobby, bigoted preacher. Shucks, witches ain't got no power in the daytime. I hate them ornery sermons. And 24, the 24th card for the year. Have the initiation. Shucks, witches ain't got no power in the daytime. I hate them ornery sermons. Have the initiation. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. It'll be Thanksgiving. I think Constance and I are going to uh, force you to confront what you're what you're thankful for. Hope we're one of them. You certainly are to us. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.